So I want to give you a preview into the scheduling part of the EZNMSI, which is phase 2. But I've gone ahead and started programming out part of the system, and I have been working on the AMS demo. So I've been using AMS data. This is the data from the pool that we have, and what we need to do is sanitize the data. And what we're going to do is go to find the commas and replace it with nothing. Let's do all. And as you can see, we have a few of them in here that have commas, and that little rascal right there is the one that messed us up on our demonstration a little while ago. But anyway, we have sanitized it, and now we're going to save as a comma delineated file. CSV. Say yes. And now we prepped it for importing into the system. We'll go back to the system and we'll browse for the file. So that's the one that we did. We'll upload the file, and don't worry about this. This is just some test stuff I put in there. So we've then imported the data into the EZNMSI. And now what we're going to do is assign the jobs. And the way we do that is just go to Assign Properties and click, and we have now assigned our properties. And as you can see, we have went to John D. Inspections, and this is the texting service it went to. So we have a Nebraska Douglas, a Nebraska Lancaster, and a Nebraska Douglas, because we have set up the EZNMSI for this particular vendor to be the number 1 and also this county. And so what we're going to do now is go to our unassigned work orders, and this gives you a list of everything that has not been assigned. We have sent to, which is all the people that have, as you can see here, it's been sent to this inspector here. However, it still has not been assigned. So this is saying that we're awaiting approval. And so what we'll do is we have assigned the properties. Now we're going to go over to the email and pull the properties, because I have them coming. I am the inspector. So as you can see, we have the 3 properties that should be coming in. One's just a little bit behind, but we can see it's work order 017-862. You click on it and it tells them that they have to either accept or decline the inspection within 2 hours. That can change to a half a day or an hour, or whatever you guys want to do. And it has the return address. This is where you're supposed to send the pictures and the inspections, but this will change also. It's just going to be directly loaded into the EZNMSI. So this is the particular property. Oh, and the other thing is we have it set up so it's sending individual properties to the inspectors. This is something that we talked about, and sometimes you get hundreds of properties, so we thought that maybe we should just send an alert. So this goes to the email, and it also goes to the texting service of the cell phone. You saw how that demonstrates, but I'm going to show you here from the email. You can either accept or decline the property. We're going to accept this property, and it comes up and says, "Thank you for accepting work order blah blah blah. Remember, the inspection is due within 55 hours. This can change to whatever. We have elected to give them 2 full days and the remainder of the day that they have accepted it." And now if we do a reload on the unassigned work orders, you notice now that property number 017 is now moved over to the assigned field, and these are the 2 that are still unaccepted or sitting around waiting to be accepted. So let's go to the second one and show you a decline. Let's go ahead and see if, okay, there's that 3rd property. It finally made it. But we're going to go to 862 and we're going to decline this. And again, it comes up and says, okay, John Puckett, we will send it to another inspector. And what's going on in the back end is it going to the system and finding the inspector for those counties that we have set up to be the number 2 inspector for that county. And it will send them the email and the text saying that there's a new property to log into the system and to accept or decline. So we will run it and see, now I have the John at the Sports Vortex, which is my other email address, which is inspector number 2. And as you can see, the work order here, the one that we declined, is number 862, and so that's the work order that came in to the other inspector. So now let's go over to the inspector page and see what goes on behind the scenes on the scheduling in phase 2. Before we move on, we're still in the administrator part. I just want to show you what happens over here as the work orders get changed around. As you can see, there's a new vendor number attached to the file, number 862, and shows that this is the vendor that it's been sent to and awaiting on approval or not. Okay, now I just want to log out, and we will log into the inspectors. Okay, now we've logged into the inspector side of the EZNMSI, and this is the John at johndmpuckett.com inspector, which is our number 1 inspector for those particular for those counties. So we're going to go over to this part right here, which is phase 2, which is the ability to see your pending work orders and your active work orders and interact with them. This will be, of course, we want to accept or decline it, just like you do either through the email or through the texting service. And also you have active work orders. These are the work orders that have been accepted by you. Tells you when it's due, gives you the lockbox, which is a new thing. It's not on the pending work orders. So if they accept it, they get the lockbox. And then you would upload images, which really takes you to the inspection part, where you upload your images and you fill out the report and you put them together. But for now, let's go ahead and decline this property because we want to send it to the second inspector. As you can see, it's been sent to the next inspector. And once that happens, it drops off. And as you can see, they still only have this particular property here in their working active work orders. So let's go ahead and log out of this particular inspector and go to the second one in the list for those counties. And here we are. This is John at thesportsvortex.com, a completely different vendor. We'll go to the work orders, and as you can see, they have 2 work orders, which are the 862 and 474, that were declined by the number 1 inspector. Now this, if they decline it, it either goes back to the system and says it has not been able to be as a work order that needs to be assigned, or we can go for a 3rd tier if you want to. But for now, they don't have any active work orders, and we're going to accept it. And now it's disappeared from the pending and gone to the active work orders. We also have these little color-coded things, which will be, if they're late on something, it'll turn red. If they're due in less than 12 hours, it turns yellow. And if it's green, that means they have a green light and they still have 48 hours, at least 48 hours to do the inspection. So now we're going to accept this one. And again, it falls into that. And the lockbox code comes up. And that wraps up our preview into the scheduling part of the EZNMSI. Thank you very much.